Do I look tired? If I look tired, it's because I've been playing Back for Blood for an unreasonable amount of time. I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. I've been playing it for a long time. The game is heat. Buy it immediately, bro, or download it on Game Pass, whatever. Anyway, what up? What's good or whatever? It's the Frozen One, or Froze for short. And today I'm going to be talking about Left 4 Dead. Wait, hold up. Wait. Back for Blood. My fault. Back for Blood. My first impressions in a rant. Upon completing the video, I have decided to move the rant to a separate video. So it's a bit of a cap, but you're still getting the rant. It's just going to be in a different video. So let's continue. But initially, we're going to be talking about my first impressions about Back for Blood. Just a brief explanation, or just a brief review, I guess. The game is fun. I'm enjoying it. I recommend going out and buy it because it's an enjoyable experience. Yeah, but we're going to talk about, because there's pros and cons to all of this. So it's not 100% great. There's definitely flaws within the game that we'll talk about, but there's also pros within the game. I'm going to talk about the cons first so we can end on a positive note, but let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is the difficulty of the game. If you're playing this game on anything higher than Recruit, GG's, my guy. GG's. The game is difficult. It's not a reasonable amount of difficult where it's like, okay, you got to stick together and make sure you're not going off on yourself all alone and just doing whatever you want to do. Basically, be more strategic. It's not difficult because of that. That as well. Don't get me wrong. Like, you should stick together. But it's difficult because they just throw everything at you. I played on Veteran. I played on Veteran for the alpha and beta. And I played on, I think, regular Recruit, whatever it is. I don't know what the first difficulty is called initially. And I was like, you know what? I want to play on Veteran just to get back to what I was doing before. It took my cheeks, bro. There is no way this game should be that difficult. It's difficult because they just throw a bunch of enemies at you. You know what I'm saying? So let's say you're chilling, right? You just got past a horde or a situation where you had to trigger a horde and then progress, and you're chilling trying to recuperate, right? The game don't care, bro. They're gonna send specials. They're gonna send more zombies, and this is not even if you have like the horde card played to where a horde comes every amount of time, every specific amount of time. That doesn't have to be played. They will still send zombies at you and specials at you in a confined area regardless. This goes on mainly in Veteran and higher. I haven't really seen it happen in Recruit like that. But it's just like, bruh, come on. Left 4 Dead ain't do this. Left 4 Dead, they threw like, specials at you periodically, but I think they did it in a more reasonable fashion. They're trying to get you up out of here, bro. They really just trying to get you up out of here. I don't like it. I feel like they should tone it down a little bit. Don't tone it down so much to where it's easy, because Recruit is easy. Recruit is an easy difficulty. I played on that a few times now, and I haven't had any issues with it. The only time people die or we fail is people being stupid. It's not necessarily because it's hard. It's just people being stupid. But Veteran, don't even get me started on Nightmare. I played Nightmare on the beta or the alpha, whatever. Never again, bro. What are y'all trying to do to me, bro? I'm guessing it is a nightmare. It's a full-fledged nightmare because there's no way you should survive something like that. Ridiculous. Anyway, the difficulty is a bit much. Next, this is something that a lot of people really don't like about this game, me included. Obviously, that's why I put it on the cons list, right? Why would I talk about it if I didn't agree with what it is? The trauma damage in the game is annoying. If you're not familiar with trauma damage within the game, it's where you get hurt so bad that you're not able to heal past that point without specific means. So like, I think you can go to a health station. They have health stations throughout the map that you're playing on that you can go and get health. I think you can recover trauma damage from those places. But if you have a health kit or bandages, I think they only recover enough health up into where the trauma damage stops. And if you have trauma damage pretty much half to like 3/4 of your bar, you can only get up to wherever that trauma damage stops. It sucks. I don't like it. I don't know why they added it in there. Maybe to make it more harder. But it's like, the game already hard. If you play on a harder difficulty, it's already difficult. So why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like it. You know what I'm saying? This is not a one-off thing that just certain people don't like it. A lot of people don't like it. That's why one of the main gripes that people have. I don't think it should be in the game. I think it should be where, like, if you have a health kick and it heals you enough, it heals you past whatever trauma damage you already have and whatnot. But that's just me. I think you can upgrade your support items and health items to excuse me. You can upgrade your items and and support items in order to recover more health, and maybe that will take on more trauma damage. But that's an upgrade you have to buy with the currency the copper that you find around the maps and whatnot, as opposed to just having the ability to use your health kit to give you the health that you deserve, right? Or give you the health that it should replenish. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like it. Don't like it. I don't think anybody likes it. Take it out of the game. Next, this is the last con. There's probably going to be other cons, but this is the last one I can think of on the fly. There's no versus campaign. Come on now, man. That was pivotal. Is that the right word? I don't know if that's the right word, but it was very desired for a versus campaign in Left 4 Dead. Everybody's asking for that. Everybody wants that, bro. Why would you not? That should have been one of the first things you thought of. Okay, yeah, Left 4 Dead was very successful. Okay, yeah, let's add the versus campaign in there. Let's add the versus survival, all the modes you can possibly think of. You probably can't do it all because probably copyright, trademark, whatever with Valve and what they probably can't do everything. But versus campaign, that should have been something that you should have fought for. If it wasn't possible to do it to the T, you should have fought for it because that's a very popular mode. A lot of people like me don't really play versus as well. They play campaign and the PvE thing. I play that predominantly too. But I know that versus campaign is very popular. It's one thing to not play it and still understand its popularity than to just omit it altogether because you don't play it. Like, I definitely understand how popular it was, and I think it's a vital thing to put into the game. Plus, I played it off and on, so I mean, I would have enjoyed it regardless. So yeah, please add that. I don't know if they're gonna add that later on in the future or not, but please add that. We need those, bro. We need those. But yeah, those are three comments that I have about the game so far. It's definitely going to come up. I'm probably going to find some other things as I continue playing about the game. But so far, those are three cons I have. And I think they're decently big cons, you know what I'm saying? Decently big. Now we're going to talk about the pros. The first pro, and this is a pro for me, but it's a con for some people as well. Hey man, to each their own, right? The card system / replayability of the game is amazing. People say, I don't want the card system because I wanted a traditional Left 4 Dead experience and whatnot. I think they have a classic mode, or they're coming out with a classic mode to where you don't have the card system. So I think if you want to just say, forget the card system, you can do that. Classic mode, you can play that and whatnot. But I think the card system is very vital in the game that they wanted to create, Turtle Rock wanted to create. You can create certain decks for certain play styles. The director can play certain corruption cards that make the game a lot harder, make it a lot more challenging and things like that. It makes the game feel different every single time you play it. Like, don't get me wrong, Left 4 Dead had high replayability as well. It did without a card system. But there were times where things did get repetitive. I'm not gonna lie, because when you think about it, when you play on the campaigns, you had Dark Carnival, you had Dead Center. I'm naming campaigns from Left 4 Dead 1 and Left 4 Dead 2, no specific order. Dead Air, you had Hard Rain, Swamp Fever. All these campaigns you played, the actions you had to do in these games were the same. But the only thing that made it replayable is the fact that the specials spawned in different areas. They attacked in different choke points. The hordes came at other specific times. If you hit a car alarm, it would come out, and it didn't come out all the time, depending on if you didn't hit the car alarm. How you play the game was definitely different each time, but it wasn't that, I don't know what I'm doing here. It wasn't that different, given the fact that the places that the maps themselves didn't change, and things basically stood the same or stayed the same throughout each campaign you played, besides placement of the tanks and the specials and not the choke points, because choke points are pretty much the same, but like the places of like where the specials spawn and everything. The difference between Left 4 Dead and this is the card system has it to where you can have different armored individuals. You can have fog show up. You can have a horde show up every single. It doesn't matter if you do. You don't have to do anything to trigger it. A horde can just be spawning every like 3 minutes or something like that because that card was played. So it's like replayability is definitely at an all-time high with this, in my opinion. And that's why I enjoy it, because I feel like I'm not gonna get bored of this game quickly. I didn't get bored of Left 4 Dead 2 quickly either, but I feel like I'm definitely gonna get bored of this game quickly because of the card system and being able to play it differently. Next, they didn't have all this in the beta and the alpha, so I was pleasantly surprised with this. You have high customization of weapons and characters. You have different skins you can put on your character. You have to unlock them. They just don't give them away for free, but you have to get supply points, buy supply lines, and I think in the supply lines you get the customization options. But you have character skins, weapon skins. Is that it? I think that's it. Oh, you have like banners and emblems you can put on your calling card or calling sign, whatever Call of Duty calls it. Essentially, the thing that displays when you jump into a lobby and whatnot. You can have a different tagline, a different emblem, a different background, different character model or character skin, and different weapon skin. I did not know they were gonna have all this customization in the game. Really didn't. I thought it was gonna be more or less like Left 4 Dead, where it's like you have a base character and base looking guns, and you just go into the game and you play based on the car system and replayability around that action. So customization is definitely an improvement over the Left 4 Dead series. And I enjoy it. Like you can get like a gold skin for I think the M4 gun or something like that. You can get like a SWAT suit for Walter, one of the characters in the game or whatnot. So it's like there's a lot of content in the game. Like I didn't know it was gonna be this much. There's a lot of content, so I welcome that. I enjoy that. Next, the in-game events. What do I mean by that? Okay, you know how in Left 4 Dead 2 or in Left 4 Dead whatever, you had certain places you would go to where it's like turn on a generator to start the horde, and you had to turn on a generator and it had to do what it needed to do for a specific amount of time for you to progress to the story. But as it was doing what it needed to do, you had to defend the horde and whatnot. The in-game events on this game are a little bit more complex, and I like that. There's one place in the campaign where you have to build your safe room, where you have to fortify your safe room in order to save it. So you open the door to the prospect safe room, you go in there, and you have to build up the windows while zombies are trying to come through them and get you. And I'm talking about it's a confined space. So you have the specials that's coming in there messing with you. You have the common infected coming in there messing with you, the ridden, and you have to go in there and kill them, board up the windows, board up all the windows, and then you'll be able to complete the round because you'll be in the safe room. That is the first time that I can recall looking at an in-game event that was different. There's another in-game event in there where you have to open the door to this building and go in there and rescue the survivors that are like stuck to the wall and whatnot. That's more reminiscent of like, I think, what's the name of that I think it is it I'm blanking here. The one where you had to get away in the car, I believe, in Left 4 Dead 2, where you had to I think it was probably the very first one, the one right before Dark Carnival. You had to get away in the car. Either the mission right before the finale or the two missions before the finale, you had to go into the store to get the Coke bottle for the Coke for the guy who was going to blow up the way for you to go through and whatnot. That cocoon mission I'm talking about on Back for Blood is sort of similar to that, only you have to go rescue like 3 or 4 people within that building that's been pinned up on the wall and whatnot. But yeah, like what I'm trying to get at is the in-game events are a lot more complex from what I remember for Left 4 Dead. It's not just turn on a generator here, do that. It's not just break this wall and then go through it and there's gonna be a horde, it's gonna be on your tails. It's not that simple. Sometimes you have to actually do work, and I enjoy that. Next, the character dialogue. I know people were worried about this because you have your familiar and nostalgic conversations that Ellis be having with the group in Left 4 Dead 2. Coach be telling them, bro, can this wait? Rochelle be saying, can this wait? Come on now, bro. Like Nick be having these conversations, things of that nature. You have Coach's iconic pills here, dialogue. People be saying that the dialogues that they had within Left 4 Dead 2 were very noticeable or very memorable, and they didn't see that in Back 4 Blood. It's not as good as It's not as good as Left 4 Dead. Back 4 Blood's dialogue is not as good as Left 4 Dead, but there was one scene where Walter is talking to I forget the one of the ladies' names, not Mom, not Evangelo, but Holly. I think her name is Holly. She was having a whole conversation about I can't even remember now. I blocked it out because it was in the midst of a horde. Like, she was talking in the midst of a horde, bro. We ain't here to talk, bro. We here to kill these zombies, bro. What are you talking about? So like, she was talking about something, and Walter was like, bro, if you gonna keep talking about this, bro, I'm gonna just join the written, bro. I'm not trying to hear this, bro. It's not the time, not the place. And that gave me reminiscent of the Ellis and Coach conversation. So I'm saying if they have more, and then there's 8 different cleaners. That's what they call them. There's 8 different cleaners, and they all have their own dialogues and things like that. So is the potential for the dialogue to be just as witty and funny, somewhat cringy, just like the Left 4 Dead games and whatnot. And that Walter and Holly dialogue interaction definitely gave me some hope for the dialogue. That's what I am excited about in the game so far. Car system, replayability about the car or surrounding the car system, customization, in-game events, and character dialogue so far. Recap on the cons. The cons were the difficulty is intense, trauma damage is annoying, and no versus campaign at the moment. But yeah, that's my first impressions of the game so far. As I continue playing it, probably gonna have more cons. I'm probably gonna stream it in the future. So check out the channel, check out Twitch or YouTube when I stream it, just so you can see the gameplay in action. If you have anything you want to give me, questions, concerns, whatever, I don't know, man. We'll leave it down in the comment section. But please remember, go out and buy or play Back 4 Blood. Give it a chance. I feel like I'm pleading for this. Like, I need you to go out and play. But remember, it's been you already.
Hey, can you use some help here? Give me some cover.
Let's fix myself up. Looks like we made it.
Need more ammo.
Check your fire! Last few rounds. One jump, tall boy. Need more ammo soon. Reloading. Looks like we found a stash.
Don't let him die out here.
I'll take that. All clear.
Give me some light here. Through here! They're more than friendly today.
Fucking you idiot. Need to reload.
Out of ammo!
Reloading.
I see something.
I don't like this. trouble.
Hear that?
No need to guess what happened to Pelicero.
Damn, they're ugly up close.
Double time!
Count your blessings. Don't have too many these days.